That's Finian's rainbow. Look to Fred Astaire.
Look, look, look to the rainbow. Follow it over the hill and stream.
It's a pot of gold.
And you stole it.
I never stole it. I borrowed it.
Well, whom did you borrow it from?
Why do you want to know?
So we can lend it right back to him, that's why.
Well, it's impossible.
Why not?
Well, because he's not mortal.
You killed him.
Look to Petula Clark.
How are things in Glockamara? Is that little brook still leaping there? Does it still run down to Donegal, through Killybegs, Kilkerry, and Kildare?
Come on, show me what you're
Sam,
made
arrest
of.
her! Well, I'm only the second deputy. You're the first deputy.
Sheriff, quit stalling. Arrest her.
Witchcraft? Well, you don't really believe I'm a witch, do you?
I wanna laugh like a loon. It's that old devil moon in your eyes.
Look to Tommy Steele.
When I'm not near the girl I love the girl I'm near.
Fairyland was never like this.
Something sweet, something sort of grandish sweeps my soul. When thou art near, my heart feels so sugar candish, my head feels so ginger beer.
Look to Don Francks.
I'm busting with bliss, and I'll kiss your hand if this isn't love.
Look to Al Freeman Jr. Look to Keenan Wynn. Look to Finian's rainbow.
Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to another movie review. And this review is going to be on the 1968 film Finian's Rainbow, which stars Fred Astaire, Petula Clark, Tommy Steele. You also have Don Francks, Keenan Wynn, Al Freeman Jr. And the film is based off of the Broadway show that was in the 40s. And the film is directed by Francis Ford Coppola. This was very early in Coppola's career. He directed Dementia 13, and then before this film, he directed You're a Big Boy Now, and this was his third film that he directed. And this was released 4 years before Coppola was well known for The Godfather. It came out 4 years. This film came out 4 years before The Godfather. And this is a musical fantasy film. And I really enjoyed this film. It is a fun film. Very good story. And was just very into the songs and the dancing as well. I mean, Fred Astaire, he's well known for his dancing, where, he's deemed the greatest popular music dancer of all time, where he ended up doing tap dancing, classical dance. But basically, what the film is about is, it's about Finian McLonger, and I think that's how you pronounce the character's last name, who was played by Fred Astaire. He's an immigrant. He's also a scammer. And him and his daughter, Sharon, played by Petula Clark, they arrive in America because they immigrated from Ireland. And he has this crock full of gold that is in this like carpet bag, and they end up going to this fictional town called Rainbow Valley, and he plans to bury his treasure there, his pot of gold, in the mistaken belief that, you know, the gold will multiply. And pretty much there is this leprechaun named Og, who is played by Tommy Steele, and he's desperate to recover his stolen crock before, you know, he turns human. And also when Fred Astaire and Petula Clark's characters are down in Rainbow Valley, they become involved in a dispute between landowners and the senator, who is played by Keenan Wynn. And pretty much basically Keenan Wynn's character wants to seize the land from the people who live there. And Keenan Wynn's character as the senator, he's very greedy. He's also very racist as well, because he has also a dog, and the dog's been trained to attack black people. And, you know, just by that, you can tell that, you know, his character is very racist. And also, it's a thing, you know, the film also deals with is, you know, racism. But pretty much that's basically what the plot to the film is about. But Fred Astaire and Petula Clark, I enjoyed both of their characters. I thought they were very likable characters. And Fred Astaire, you know, he does his dancing in the film, of course, which, you know, like I said, he's well known for. And the dancing and the songs, I thought they were both greatly choreographed. And Tommy Steele as Og, the leprechaun, I thought he did a very good job as well. He brought some energy into the character, and, you know, he's a very well likable character. Also, the scenes at the beginning of the film where Fred Astaire and Petula Clark are walking, I thought those were very well shot, because you see them, you know, walking, you know, by like mountains, and them approaching the Statue of Liberty, them walking on a road and through fields, you know, very well shot. And, you know, the scenes that was done in like the forest, where Fred Astaire buries the pot of gold. You know, the forest scenes I thought looked really cool. Also, there is a plot also later on where the pot of gold, you know, has like wishes, and, you know, Petula Clark's character Sharon is furious with Keenan Wynn as the senator, and she wishes that he would turn black. And that does happen because she's standing on the spot where the pot of gold, the crock of gold, is buried. And because of that, Keenan Wynn's character as a senator, you know, becomes a black man. And you can never do that nowadays. I mean, nowadays it would cause, you know, controversy if a film, you know, ever did that with a character, you know, like that, wishing, you know, a white man to become black. So, yeah, that would cause a whole lot of controversy if it was done in a film nowadays. But Keenan Wynn's character, you know, as a senator, you just want to, you know, hate the character because, you know, the character is very unlikable. He is a character that, you know, wants to take the land away from the people that live in Rainbow Valley, and, you know, making some racial slurs against some of the people. You also have Don Francks, who plays Woody Mahoney, who comes to Rainbow Valley, and he is the love interest to Petula Clark's character. You see them, you know, getting to know each other, to like each other, and then them getting married towards the end of the film. overall, you also have Barbara Hancock, who plays Susan the Silent, which her character says no lines of dialogue up until the end of the film. Like towards the end of the film, we get to hear her speak, and pretty much her character just dances, and the people in Rainbow Valley, you know, when they see her, they try to understand what she's trying to tell them through like dance and, you know, hand gestures. But when the film came out in 1968, it had a budget of $3 million, and at the box office it made $11 million. So it was a success at the box office. And originally, they were going to do this film in the 40s, and they would get Mickey Rooney to do it. It was with MGM, but the film was abandoned. The soundtrack of the score was recorded by Frank Sinatra, Louis Armstrong, and Ella Fitzgerald. The film was abandoned. 1960, the film rights were held by Marvin Rothenberg, who wanted Michael Corrin to direct and Debbie Reynolds to star. It was announced that the film would be budgeted at $2 million and released by United Artists. But once again, the film wasn't made. So the film was in, production hell for a while. So 1965, Harold Hesh bought the film rights and hired Harburg and Saidy to write a script and some new songs. Heck said that he intended to film in 9 months, and they were going to get Dick Van Dyke, who was considered to play the role of Finian. But financial problems caused the filming to be postponed, and Dick Van Dyke dropped out of the film to work on other projects. A year later, the film was bought by Warner Brothers. It had the rights, and they would make the film produced by Joseph Landon and starring Fred Astaire, with the aim to get Tommy Steele as the leprechaun. The budget was expected to be $4 million. Coppola was signed as director in February 1967, and Steele was confirmed as the Irish leprechaun, although Robert Morse had expressed interest. But yeah, this was Coppola's only film that he directed as a musical. But overall, Finian's Rainbow, very fun movie, really enjoyed it, good musical, very well choreographed songs, and also dancing. And it's one to check out. But anyways, that's it for my review of Finian's Rainbow. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoy this review. If you like what you saw, smack the like button, comment, subscribe, and